This is Alex. God, I feel like a scientist talking into this. You loved collecting these voice recorder things. I saw it as a silly obsession initially, but eventually I came to understand. In those days, it was rare to see old world tech like this, devices that were once common in everyday homes. But I'm also in space, and that used to be common as well. I still can't believe it, but I suppose now I can prove that it is possible. My only question is why? Why would anyone do this to themselves? Trapped in a tin can the size of a car, hurtling into the sky. I guess they probably made it a bit more comfortable for pilots back then, but not much more. Shit. That was the old world. Before the great catastrophe. I suppose the only thing that could have been scarier than the wasteland would have been facing a gauntlet of storms, natural disasters, and unimaginable magnitude. Sins of our past back to haunt us, and yet we were the ones faced with the fallout. I used to blame myself, We were just two kids born at the wrong time. You loved the old world. I remember asking you, what would you want to be in a land of blue skies? And you tell me you wouldn't want to live in the past, that your place was right here with me. But I knew you were lying. I knew that you would give anything and everything for a fresh breath of air. The one time you slipped up, and we were both pretty drunk that night, but you slipped up. You said, what was it? You said, in the old world, I'd like to think I'd be writing newspapers. At that moment, everything clicked. The voice recorders, collecting ancient news scraps anytime you came across them, the way you asked each passing caravan what they heard from around the world. I understood that you weren't holding on to the ideas of the old world for yourself. No, you wanted a change for the whole world. You saw beauty in something so fragmented. Not long after some semblance of the world returned. NATO came out of some fancy hole in the ground and announced they'd be the new government. They claimed they had a plan. They do have a plan to save humanity. I thought it nonsense at first, just caravan chatter to rile up the locals. But then just a few weeks later, an outsider arrived. All dressed up in a fancy suit, pressed and clean. It was like nothing we had ever seen, everything we'd only heard about. I was mad at first, furious. Here he was, recently showered and shined. They'd abandoned us for 40 fucking years just to show up to ask us for help. See, this whole time, they had power and food and water. All the things we fought our lives for, all the things that all of the things that we desperately needed. He gathered up a bunch of locals, started talking about space and great new technology. He spoke of a new planet in the Dorado constellation. Not that anyone knew where in hell's fuck that was. The planet in question is TOI 700D, over 100 light years away. A fool's plan. Not unless you can sleep through it, that is. Cryogenic sleep. Turns out, military scientists had been close to a breakthrough in 2121. But then the great catastrophe came. The world quickly plunged into darkness. Billions were lost, and all hope went with them. Until recently. 2 years ago, so they say, everything changed. They sent some of their folks down into a pre-collapse weapons lab where they stumbled across all the previous research on the tech. But that wasn't the only thing they found. They found our ticket out of here. An engine. One supposedly capable of interstellar travel. I don't know if they even tested it out, to be honest. They told us they had done a battery of trials, all which were successful, but I don't know. It had only been a couple of years since they found it, so I don't even know when they would even have the time. It didn't really occur to me that I might be the guinea pig in this project. One of them, at least. Once I got there, though, that's when all the questions started flooding in. They sent us up in these rickety little shuttles. It felt like we were riding school buses through the atmosphere, but then we made it. And there was silence. We were weightless. Free. From there, we boarded bigger ships assigned to us prior to leaving Earth. I got picked to be a cargo hauler. As I boarded my ship, the HS Olia, I was blown away. It was impressive. It made the shuttles look like refuge. Part of me wonder if you would even want me to do this. The other part of me doesn't even want to know. Sarah, I want you to know. I need you to know that I am doing this for you. Everything I have ever done was for you. I am so sorry I wasn't there when you It's time to go. I love you so much.